Hey students, let's go through the class syllabus, which is kind of like a roadmap for the course. It contains all of the important information for the class, like the assignments, the projects, the grading, and so on and so forth. When you start reading the syllabus right away, you'll see my contact information. I encourage you to get a hold of me by call, text, email, Blackboard messages, however you'd like to contact me, and I'll be able to respond to you quite promptly, usually in about 24 hours or less. I'll send you weekly announcements and class agendas. Usually on Monday, you'll know the plan for each week, and then you'll be able to get started on the class assignments. On your end, you can check the gradebook in Blackboard each week, and you'll see messages from me. And all in all, I encourage you to contact me, meet me for office hours, or schedule a meeting with me through the Calendly link. You can meet me in person or virtually. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have and support you in your learning. You can also see some course information here, a little bit about the course. It's an online course. It's asynchronous, so there's no meeting times. You complete things on your own online, and the textbooks are free. Here are the links to the textbooks. For this course, the big focus is on the course competencies. Those are the things that you need to learn in order to pass the class. So here are the 6 course competencies, and the focus of this course will be meeting these competencies mainly through writing 2 essays. For the due dates and grading information in this class, I want you to know that due dates are designed to help you keep on track and pace your learning without feeling overwhelmed, but I am flexible if you need an extension. Most things are due on Wednesdays and Sundays at midnight. If you can't get something in on time, just contact me. We can create a plan for you to catch back up. But if you do fall behind by 1 week or more, it may be too late for you to pass the course. So it's really important that you don't fall behind by more than 1 week in this class. If you do, you'll need to contact me to discuss your options for continuing in the class. And then everything is due on Wednesday of week 7. This is really the very strict deadline in the class because that's when the class ends. This class has a outcome or competency-based style of grading. It's what I call, or what some people call, ungraded, meaning that instead of receiving points and letters, you'll receive feedback from me on your writing. And so you're still aiming to get an A, B, C, D, or F using the Western grading scale. However, you'll receive more personalized feedback from me. On most assignments, you'll get 100% for doing your best and improving as a reader and writer. Your final grade in this class is based on your growth in the course and how well you meet all of the learning competencies. So if you meet all the learning competencies, you'll pass the class, and you'll really go through stages of the writing process to meet the competencies, and by the end of the course you can kind of see a portfolio of your work that will represent your final grade. Throughout the course, there are growth journals that you complete after each project. These represent your grades at any given time, and so that's where you grade yourself, and if I agree with your grade in terms of the competencies and see that you're growing and learning, you get the grade that you've given yourself. And by the end of the class, you complete a final portfolio and a final reflection of your learning in order to justify the grade you've earned, and that is how that works. For the writing revisions, this class, I encourage you to make mistakes. In your writing, I encourage you to write and revise and rewrite and go through that writing process so you can resubmit any assignments for a new grade at any time before the course ends, and that will be the way we handle writing revisions. That's what great writing is all about. There are some pretty important guidelines for using AI in this class. And so I do encourage you to experiment with AI if that's something you're already using, but I do want to emphasize some important principles. That is that you're responsible for information literacy and fact-checking. You're responsible to make sure that you're following the academic integrity policy and not copying and pasting from AI-generated content. Make sure that you're citing your use of any AI as well. And it's also your role to make sure that you're committing to the writing process in your own self-creative expression where your voice kind of shines through in the writing and not something written by AI in the course. But I'll try to model AI usage and give you examples of it and try to help you with that. There's also a nice table here of things that are allowed versus not allowed as it pertains to AI. So I encourage you to take some time to go through that and make sure you're well aware of the different acceptable uses of AI. In this class, the main focus will be 2 major projects. That's major project 1, essay 1. That's an essay that is not requiring research. It can be an essay that's more personal about yourself or about something you already know about. And the focus of that essay is to build the structure of an essay and develop a writing process. Second essay is a research essay. This is where you do research on a topic and basically put together a informative essay on some certain topics that you will choose from. Okay, and then by the end of the course, really the third project is a last project where you build your portfolio, put together all your best writing, put your final touches on those 2 essays, and then reflect on your learning. You can also see the essay rubrics and how you'll be graded on each essay. We'll go through those later in the course too. Please take some time to see my learning philosophy and read it in more detail, but I love teaching and learning. That's why I'm a teacher, and I really love language too. And so know that I'm looking for you to improve your language skills, your reading, and your writing without being punitively graded for them. So you don't have to worry about losing points for grammar, spelling, and punctuation, or being judged on the way you use your language and the way you read and write. I'll help you adjust those things. I'll help you make writing choices, but I won't take points away for those different aspects. And that's where I really come from as a learner. Other than that, you can see some of the regular syllabus information that's part of all of the different courses at Western. If you have any disabilities or any Title IX or pregnancy accommodations that you need, then you can get the links to them here. You can also scroll through, read our academic integrity policy, and at the very bottom of this, see our course calendar and see what we have to do each week. What's nice about this course calendar is that in the bold words, so the bold messages here, you can see the word submit, and that means there's something to submit to Blackboard. So in week 1, there are 2 assignments, a growth journal, as well as brainstorming for that first major project, that first essay. And with that, that is basically the syllabus of this course. If you have any questions or concerns, or you want to talk about the syllabus further, please feel free to contact me.